Hey guys, it's Miss Adams again, and we're going to be looking at some quadratic functions, and we're going to determine if they've reflected or not, and we're going to also look at some of their transformations. So for numbers, the way that we look at this, I should explain that first. We don't really tell what the stretch or shrink is just by looking at a quadratic function. We'd have to go a little bit more in depth, but what we can tell is if it is facing upwards or if it's facing downwards. So if it's opening up, we're going to have an a value, in this case a positive 1. If it's opening down, we're going to have an a value at negative 1. So number 7 does have, it is opening down, so we are going to have a reflection there, and it's going to have an a value as negative 1. And I'm looking at that, and it's asking me to write that in vertex form. And guys, my version's not as updated as your version. It should say vertex form here for number 9, and I apologize for that. So we're going to write this in vertex form. I've got to know what my vertex is, though. So looking at this function, I know I have a vertex at negative 1, comma 1. So that's my h and k values. So let's go ahead and write out our function. We've got y equals my a value of negative 1 multiplied by x. Well, it's minus 1. So x minus a negative 1 is the same thing as x plus a positive 1. And that's squared. And I'm still going to have a plus 1 as my k value. For problem number 8, this is also a reflection because it is facing downwards, so my a value is going to be negative 1. And I have a vertex here at negative 4, 3. So my a value is at negative 1. And I have x minus my h value, in this case, is negative 4. So it's actually going to be x plus 4 squared plus 3. And we're going to write this next equation in vertex form as well. This a value, we don't have a reflection here because it's facing upwards, so my a value is positive 1. So I've got y equals 1. And now I've got to look at my vertex, which is at 4, negative 1. So I'm going to have x minus my h value of 4 squared, and then minus 1 as my k value. This next section is going to talk about some transformations. So I'm going to pause here, and we're going to go over how to write functions given the transformations.